ॐ गणानां त्वा गणपतिं हवामहे कविं कवीनामुपमश्रवस्तमं ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणां ब्रह्मणस्पत आनः शृण्वन्नोतिभिः सीदसादनं श्रीमहागणाधिपतये नमः। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुस्साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैस्तुष्टुवागुंसस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः। स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। Dear friends, we have started this fifth prashna in the Prashnopanishad. In the last class we completed the fourth prashna and just started the fifth prashna. First mantra we just read. Atha hainam shaibhyah satyakamah papracha सयोह वै तद्भगवन्मनुष्येषु प्रायणान्तम् ओंकारम् अभिध्यायीत कथमं वावतेन लोकं जयतीति तस्मै स होवाच. Did we read this mantra or not?
Yes,
Or only अथ इदानीं परापर ब्रह्म प्राप्ति प्रश्नः आरभ्यते? I think only up to that we read. Let us read the mantra. अथ हैनं शैब्यः सत्यकामः पप्रच्छ स योह वै तद्भगवन् मनुष्येषु प्रायणान्तमोङ्कारमभिध्यायीत कथमं वा वसतेन लोकं जयतीति तस्मै स होवाच. Okay, atha means thereafter. Ha, this well-known teacher. Ha doesn't mean well-known teacher. Enam ha, it is referring connect to enam. Enam Pippaladam. Enam means this gentleman. Who is this gentleman? Pippaladam. This Pippaladam. Shaibhyaha Satyakamaha papracha. Shaibhyaha, the son of Shibi, whose name is Satyakama, he asked, what? Sa yohavai, oh my dear, oh revered sir, Tad Bhagavan, hey Bhagavan. Sa yohavai, he, who? Sa yaha, that is he who. He who Manushyesu, Manushyesu means among all human beings, among men. Prayanantam Omkaram Abhidhyayita. Prayanantam, that is till death. Till death means all through his life. Because it is not possible, as we have seen in Gita chapter 8, it is not possible to have a particular, to have the idea of God right at the time of death. It has to come all through. It has to be a long practice. Suddenly, if you want to think of God, you will not get that idea at all. So that Antya Bhavana, we have seen that 8th chapter, a thing called Antya Bhavana, concept called Antya Bhavana. With whatever Bhavana a person dies, he takes birth according to that particular Bhavana. So Prayanantam Omkaram Abhidhyayita. Dhyayita is Dhyayet. Dhyayita actually is an Atmanepadi, but this word Dhyay Dhyatu Dhatu is Parasmepadi. Probably it is Arsha Prayoga. Arsha Prayoga, that is Vaidika Prayoga. Like Kurvita. Kurvita is there in normal usage also. But here Dhyayita may be Arsha Prayoga. Because Shankaracharya is translating it as Chintayet. It is in Vidhiling. Chintayet. So Dhyayet. Omkaram Abhidhyayet means Dhyayeti. So he meditates on that. So that is the meaning. Katamam va vasatena lokam jayati. Tena means by such dhyana. Tena dhyanena. Katamam lokam jayati. Katama is, Katara is when there are two things. Which of the two? Katama is which of the many. Katamam vava lokam jayati, because there are so many lokas. We talk about Chandraloka, we talk about some other loka, we talk about Pitraloka, we talk about some other Varuna loka, Yama loka, etc., etc. There are so many lokas. Loka means Janma. Lokyate Bhujyante iti Janmani. That line we have to remember, that Shankaracharya's definition of what is a loka in the commentary on Ishavasya Upanishad. Lokyate, lokaha, lokyate, bhujyate, lokyante, bhujyante iti janmani. That is what he writes. That is, a person who, after the death of this mortal body, then the subtle body, it enjoys say some pleasure in some loka. What is that loka? In some janma, it may be some yamaloka. That is, the subtle body doesn't have, after death, a person that will not have a physical body. It is only a subtle body. It is only the mind which experiences all those things. Whether it goes to Svargaloka or whether it goes to some other loka or some other loka, like you experience in a dream. You have a nice dream. Suppose you say you have such a beautiful dream in the say in your say in the night, and then at that time it is so real, isn't it? So this Svarga also is an experience in the mind only. After all, during the waking state also, what all we experience is only an experience in the mind. But then we say that external objects are real and that we are enjoying them really. In dream also you have the same notion, isn't it? In dream also, whatever you are experiencing at that time, it is very, very real at that time. So, this loka, whether it is Svargaloka or whether it is some other loka, Indraloka, Chandraloka, etc., etc., all these things, they are states of experience. So, that is what we have seen in the commentary on Ishavasya Upanishad. So, Katamam Lokam Jayati, because there are so many lokas, which loka will he attain? Will he really attain a higher thing, or whether he will attain a lower loka? So that is the question. Tasmai saho uvacha. Tasmai, sa means that saha pipaladaha, saha uvacha. Tasmai means to Satyakama. Satyakamaya pipaladaha uvacha. Then let us see the bhashyam. Sa yah kaschid vai bhagavan manushyeshu manushyanam madhye tad adbhutamiva prayanantam maranantam yavajjivam ityetat omkaram abhidhyayita abhimukhyena chintayet bahya vishayebhyah upasamhrita karanah samahita chitto bhaktyaveshita brahmabhave omkare. Okay. Is there a stop there or not? Okay. So, atha idanim, that line is over. Sa yah kaschid. The one who, what, hey Bhagavan, manushyeshu, manushyanam madhe, among human beings, among men, tad adbhutamiva. Adbhutamiva means in a very amazing way, in a very excellent way, in an outstanding manner. Adbhutamiva. In a very excellent manner, he has done this meditation on Om, Omkara. In a very excellent manner, in a highly commendable way, in an amazing way, whatever it is. Adbhutam. Adbhutam means a wonder, a wonderful way, let us say. Wonderful way. Wonderful way is not all that good, so you can say in an excellent way or an amazing way. In an amazing manner, prayanantam is maranantam, till death, that is yavajjivam, all through his life. Yavajjivam ityetat. Omkaram abhidhyayita. Abhidhyanam. Dhyanam is the actual word. Abhi is a upasarga. Abhi means abhimukhyena. Shankaracharya is writing that. Abhimukhyena. Abhimukham means you are facing it. Abhimukham. Pratimukham is, parangmukham is facing the other side. Pratimukham or abhimukham is facing that. That means you are not deviating from that. Your mind is focused on that. You have not deviated from that. Okay, you are thinking about Omkara, you are thinking only of Omkara and not of something else. So, abhimukhyena chintayet. Focused on that only and not deviating from that. That of course Shankaracharya is going to explain what is this abhimukhyam. Abhimukhyena chintayet, in a very, very devoted way, in a focused manner. Abhimukha, you understand that word, then you understand everything. Abhimukham, parangmukham, pratimukham. Abhimukha is facing towards. Parangmukham is facing the other way. Suppose you are talking to suppose a friend comes, you become parangmukha. Then what is the indication? So it is like that. Abhimukha chintanam also is like that. Dhyanam, okay, your mind is, your tongue is uttering something, but then your mind is elsewhere. That should not be there. So that is the point. So bahya vishayebhyah upasamhrita karanaha. Karanaani upasamhrutani. That is, all the organs have been withdrawn. From where? Bahya vishayebhya. From all the external objects, you have withdrawn your sense organs. Sense organs and also the mind. Mind also is an antahkarana, isn't it? From all the external objects, you have withdrawn your senses and mind. And then samahita chittaha. Samadhi is another word, isn't it? Dharana, dhyana, samadhi. So in fact, it is all reference to the yogic practices. This Atma Sanyama Yoga, which we have seen in chapter 6 of Gita, that comes everywhere. Because that Atma Sanyama is a very, very important thing. Atma Sanyama is very much needed for Chitta Ekagrata. Karma Yoga is for Chitta Shuddhi, isn't it? Karma Yoga is for purification of mind. Then Atma Sanyama Yoga is for concentration of mind. These two are needed. Chitta Nairmalyam and Naischalyam. That is purity of mind and also concentration of mind. Both are needed. So from this Bahya Vishayebhya Upasamhruta Karanaha means he has withdrawn from all these things, so there is no vikshepa, there is no disturbance. And then Samahita Chittaha. His mind is in that tranquil state where there is no disturbance. Samadhi, Samyak Adhiyate Manaha. That is, the mind is kept in a very firm manner, in a particular focused manner on a particular thought. That is Samadhi. Samyak adhiyate manaha iti samadhihi. The mind is properly focused on a particular thing. So that is what is samadhi. Samahita chittaha bhaktyaveshita brahmabhave onkare. Bhaktyaveshita brahmabhave onkare. Of course, he is still onkare kim karaniyam. He is also saying onkare. It is connected to yavajyam onkaram abhidhyayita abhimukhyana chintayet. Okay. Onkare samahita chittaha. Yeah, that is the point. Bhaktya veshita brahma bhave onkare samahita chittaha. Samahita chittaha has to be connected to that. You see, onkare samahita chittaha. That means in that onkara you have put your mind in a fixed manner. Samahita. Samyak adhiyate manaha. And then not only that, bhaktya veshita brahma bhave. Bhaktya aveshita brahma bhavaha. That is this brahma bhava. This notion of notion of Brahma, that is, you are, say, Onkare Brahma Buddhihi, like Salagrame Vishnu Buddhihi. You see, this whenever this Adhyasa, whenever this Shastriya Adhyasa is taken, you have heard the word Adhyasa. Adhyasa is superimposition or Adhyaropa. So in this thing, what happens? Normally this Adhyaropa is due to ignorance. You see some some rope, and then you think it is a snake, and then you have superimposed the idea of snake on a rope, which is due to ignorance or improper perception. But here it is a Shastriya Adhyaropa. Upasana is a Shastriya Adhyaropa, where Shastra is actually recommending. Shastra is recommending that you have to do Vishnu Buddhi in Salagrama. Not Salagrama Buddhi in Vishnu. You should not think of Vishnu as Salagrama. In Salagrama, you have to think it as Vishnu. Nikrushte Utkrushta Buddhihi. In a small thing, you have to visualize a big thing. So that is the point. So this Onkare Brahma Bhava. In that Onkara is a small thing. Brahma Bhava is the mighty, bigger one. So in this small symbol or pratika called Onkara, you have to Aveshita Brahma Bhava. That is, you have to bring in Avesha, Vishadhatu. Visha means to enter, to pravesha, pravishati, avishati. Avishati again is, it is entering. So this Brahma Bhava has to be brought in. Brahma Bhava has to be brought in how? Bhaktya. By great devotion you have to bring in that Brahma Bhava. Bhaktya aveshita Brahma Bhava. By devotion, the Brahma Bhava has been brought in to that symbol called Onkara, and in that Onkara, Samahita Chittaha, Upasamhurta Karanaha. So by having withdrawn the instruments, some sense organs, and having withdrawn the mind, and Samahita Chittaha, mind is kept tranquil, cool, very well settled in that Onkara. So that is the point. Then, Atma Pratyaya Santana Vichhedo Bhinna Jatiya Pratyayantarakhili Kruto Nirvatastha Deepashikha Samaha Abhidhyana Shabdarthaha. So what is the meaning of this word Abhidhyana? Abhidhyana Shabdasya Arthaha. The meaning of this word avidhyana is abhi. He is explaining that preposition called abhi, that suffix, prefix. What is that? Atma pratyaya santana avichhedah. So this, what is a meditation? Meditation is, it is something like a laser beam. In that laser beam, all the light waves travel in the same direction, in the same focused manner, and then there is no deviation. That is the difference between normal light and laser light. Normal light is scattered here and there, waves, they are moving everywhere. But in a laser beam, all the light waves are focused in a particular way. So that is what we have seen in our school days. Laser, what is a laser? So like that, this santana pravaha, this santana, not santana pravaha, pratyaya santana. This pratyaya, this thought process, pratyaya is a thought process, thought, isn't it? Pratyaya santana, that stream of thought, that stream of consciousness has to be in a particular way only. That is in what way? Atma pratyaya. Atma is Brahma. Here it refers to Brahma only. This is Atma pratyaya santana avichhedah. It is unbroken. There is no vichheda. Vichheda means breakage. Avichheda means unbroken. So there is an unbroken stream of consciousness focused on Brahma. Stream of ideas, stream of thought focused on Brahma or on Brahma. Stream of thoughts on Brahman only. So basically whatever he is thinking, the Upanishad Vakya, about what Upanishad Vakyas say about Brahman, etc., there is a continuous thought process in that way only, undisturbed by anything. He is also explaining by another phrase, Bhinna Jatiya Pratyayantara Akhili Krutaha. You see the word Akhili Krutaha. Khilam. Khilam means some Khilakanda in Veda, there is what is called a Khilakanda. That is at the end, there is some sort of appendix. Khilam. Khilam means some very little thing. Broken. Akhila means unbroken. Akhila. Khila is broken, a small part. Akhila is unbroken, complete. So here, na khili krutaha. Khili kruta means broken. Na khili krutaha means unbroken, undisturbed. So undisturbed by what? Bhinna jatiya pratyayantaraihi akhili krutaha. Bhinna jatiya, that is apart from Brahman, something else if you are thinking, that becomes bhinna jatiyam. Apart from Brahman, if you are thinking of something else, suppose you are sitting on meditation, while sitting on meditation, you have got so many thoughts relating to our samsara, because that is the only time we get, that is the only time the mind is free, otherwise every minute you are totally busy. So at that time only we get all the thoughts about all the pending bills and all the pending payments and so many things. So all those bhinna jati, so that is why it is rightly said, all this thing goes into the mind of somebody who is sufficiently mature and fairly disconnected from various responsibilities. So it is only at that time this goes into the mind. Otherwise, if you are so totally absorbed in so many problems and in so many issues, it is very difficult. So bhinna jatiya pratyaya. Pratyaya is thought. Bhinna jatiya pratyaya means a thought of another variety. Some thought process of another variety. Tena pratyayantara. Pratyayantara means a different thought. Pratyayantarahi akhili krutaha. Undisturbed by other type of thoughts. That is what it means. Undisturbed by other type of thoughts. So that is, it should be a pratyaya santana relating to Brahma, undisturbed by any other thought. Then nirvata deepashikha samaha. That is, it is somewhat like a lamp which is kept in a nirvata sthala. Nirvata stha. Nirvata. Vata is, vayu, wind. Nirvata means windless. Of course, windless means the air will be there, otherwise it will not, the lamp will not burn. Breezeless. There is no strong breeze. The air is very, very still. Nirvata is where the air is very, very still. Nirvatastha deepashikha samaha. Deepashikha, the flame of a lamp, the flame of a small lamp. Flame of a small lamp, it just stands like this without moving. So like that, our mind should be focused on this Brahman idea, this thought process, totally focused on Brahma. So that is what is abhidhyanam. So abhidhyana shabdartha. Satya brahmacharya ahimsa. Satya brahmacharya ahimsa. Parigraha tyaga. Not aparigraha tyaga, parigraha tyaga. Ahimsa, so that is why I broke at say ahimsa. Otherwise, ahimsa, aparigraha tyaga, okay, that also can be taken. If you want to do that, satya, brahmacharya, ahimsa, aparigraha, tyaga, sannyasa, that also you can do. Avagraha is there. My book there is nothing. So, okay, satya, brahmacharya, ahimsa, aparigraha, tyaga, let us say tyaga, sannyasa, shaucha, santosha,
tyaga, sannyasa, shaucha, santosha,
amayavitvadi aneka, yama niyamanugrahitaha, अनुगृहीतः स एवं यावज्जातीय व्रतधारणः यावज्जीव व्रतधारणः. It is referring to a person. यावज्जीव व्रतधारणः मनुष्यः. So a person who is having this as यावज्जीव व्रतम, यावज्जीव व्रतधारणः, that is a person who is having it as a यावज्जीव व्रतम. यावज्जीव व्रतम means all through his life he is doing like this. Apart from say basic bodily needs, Sharira Yatra Matra Cheshtaha, that is what Shankaracharya says in Bhagavad Gita Bhashya in some place. Sharira Yatra Matra Cheshtaha, where all his activities are confined to only those which are needed for the maintenance of his body. Sharira Yatra, just for conducting this body, that's all. So that is what it is. So here it is somewhat like that. Satya, Satya means truthfulness. Brahmacharya, Brahmacharya can means austerity. It can also means say thinking about Brahma, Brahmani Charati, that is focused on Brahma. Adhyayana, that is Vedanta Adhyayana, so that is Brahmacharya. Or simple terms, it is austerity, Brahmacharya. What is called celibacy, austerity, all those things. Then Ahimsa. Ahimsa is total abjurance, abjuring violence, any type of violence, because a sannyasi, from him there should not be any threat to any small ant also. Abhayam sarvabhutebhyah matta swaha, he says at the time of taking sannyasa, people say, from me, there is absolutely no violence to any being. Abhayam sarvabhutebhyah mattaha. So, from me there is total abhayam from for any being. So that is what it is. That is ahimsa. Aparigraha, if you take aparigraha, that is parigraha means accepting something. Aparigraha means not accepting something, because accepting something also involves, it can involve some sort of sinful conduct. Because suppose I take something which is given by somebody, and that is probably sinfully acquired by him. And whatever is sinfully acquired by him, if I also take it, I am also sharing his sin. In fact, earlier I think we said in this Upanishad only I said once, that is Yajamana Krutam Papam Annamashritya Tishtati. That is, if somebody has done some papam, that papam is there residing in his annam. And then that annam, if somebody is sharing, he also shares that papam. So like that, parigraha is a very tricky thing. For a sensitive person, for an insensitive person it is okay. For a sensitive person, this parigraha is something which is very tricky. So that is why people follow this aparigraha vrata. They are very choosy about accepting anything. If only a very, very good person offers something, and that too very little, whatever is basically needed for him, only then they accept. Otherwise they will not accept anything. So this aparigraha is totally apart from that which is basically required for maintenance of the body. He will not accept anything else. So that is it, aparigraha. So even today there are some people like that. You can find some good people in some corner, some nook and corner in some villages. May not be so in towns, I do not know, but there are definitely some people still in some villages. Aparigraha. So if you want to take it as parigraha, parigraha tyaga you have to say. Parigraha tyaga. So instead of parigraha tyaga, it is aparigraha. Aparigraha is better. Aparigraha, I will put an avagraha here. Aparigraha, himsa, aparigraha, tyaga. Tyaga is renunciation. Then sannyasa. Sannyasa is renunciation. Tyaga, what is the difference between tyaga and sannyasa? Maybe you have to refer to the 18th chapter of Gita. Sannyasasya mahavoho tattvamichhami veditum Tyagasya tu Hrushikesha. There he wanted a distinction between sannyasa and tyaga. Then sannyasa kamyanam karmanam tyagaha sannyasam kavayo viduhu, he said. So that is kamya karma, that is giving up all the kamya karmas, stopping all the kamya karmas, only doing the niyata karma, only that is what is sannyasa. In that particular context, it is not telling about a sannyasi, it is telling about a grihastha. That 18th chapter, the first few slokas, they are in the context of a grihastha, not in the context of a sannyasi. So there, abandoning or say giving up all the kamya karmas is said as sannyasa. Then kamyanam karmanam nyasa sannyasam kavayo viduhu sarvakarma parityagaha tyaga, no, sarvakarma phalatyagaha, that is what is called tyaga, phalatyaga. That is, you are doing the niyata karma, nitya karma, you are doing nitya karma, then nitya karma phalatyaga, then you are doing it with a spirit of karma yoga. So let me read this sloka. Yeah, sarvakarma phalatyagam prahustyagam vichakshanaha. Vichakshanaha, the learned people, that is what is called, they call this as tyagam. What? Sarva karma phalatyagam. You are doing your karma, but karma phalatyaga. If you are totally giving up all karmas, that is what is sannyasa. So that is in the case of a grihastha, that is what has been told. Kamyanam karmanam nyasam. So anyway, here maybe we can take such distinction, because tyaga and sannyasa are used side by side. Then sannyasa, shaucha. Shaucha, we know there are 3 types of shaucha: kaika shaucha, manasa shaucha, and vachika. Kaika, vachika, manasa shaucham. Purity, purity of thought, say action and deed. Purity of thought, action and what? Word. All the 3. Then santosha. Santosha is happiness, that is contentment. Santosha is contentment basically. Even if somebody does not have anything, he is contented. That is santosha. Amayavitva. Amayavitva. Not deceitful in character, not deceitful in nature. Amayavitva. Mayavi is a fellow who is deceitful in nature. Mayavitvam is the noun. Amayavitvam, that is not having the deceitful nature. Straightforward, rujusvabhava, that is it. Ityadi aneka yama niyama anugrihitaha. That is, he is somebody who is blessed with all these characteristics which come under the category of yama and niyama. This yama and niyama we have seen in Patanjali Bhashya also. This yama, niyama, the technical word for yama and niyama, yama. Yama is basically restraint. No, that is shama dama. Bahyendriya nigraha damaha, antarindriya nigraha shamaha, that is shama and dama. Vedantis give that definition, but Patanjali defines yama and niyama in a different way. Yamas are shaucha, santosha, tapas, swadhyaya, ishvara pranidhanani niyamaha. That is, they are all the rules. Shaucha, santosha, tapas, swadhyaya, all these things are the niyama. They are things to be followed. That is external things. This is the conduct relating to, say, conduct with the external world. But conduct within himself relates to yama. That is, ahimsa, asteya, ahimsa, satya, asteya, brahmacharya, aparigraha. That is something which is relating to yourself without contact with anyone. So that is ahimsa, is something related to you. It is there in your mind. Satya, telling truth. Asteya, not stealing from anybody. Then brahmacharya, practicing celibacy, and then concentration on this Brahma. Then aparigraha, these are something related to individual conduct. Then shaucha, santosha, tapaha, swadhyaya, ishvara pranidhanani, these are certain things which have to be performed by him. So these are the niyamas. So that is the difference between niyama and niyama. Anyway, so this person, he is associated with all these things. He is equipped with all those things. The person who is doing this Omkara Dhyana, he is also equipped with all these things. Then, Anugrihitaha, sa evam yavajjiva dharana vrata, evam yavajjiva vrata dharanaha. So the person who is having this as his yavajjiva vratam. We also do Satyanarayana vratam on a particular day. On this particular day, I will not eat non-vegetarian. Or rather, on this particular day, I will be very, very truthful. I will observe Maunam, I will do this, I will do that, I will do Swadhyaya, etc. Not like that. This is Yavajiva. It is not one day vratam, it is Yavajiva vratam. Then Katamam Vava
कथमं वाव
Aneke hi Jnanakarmabhihi Jetavyaha Lokas Tishtanti
अनेके हि ज्ञानकर्मभिः एतव्याः लोकाः तिष्ठन्ति
Teshu
तेषु
Tena Omkarabhidhyanena
तेन ओङ्काराभिध्यानेन
Katamam Salokam Jayati iti Pruštavate
कथमं स लोकं जयति इति पृष्टवते
Tasmai Sahovacha Pippaladaha.
तस्मै सहोवाच पिप्पलादः.
Okay. Katamam. Katamam means which among the many. Katamam Vava. Vavai Vai. Katamam Vai. Which indeed. Then he is explaining why that Katamam is used. Anekehi Jnana Karmabhihi Jetavyaha Lokaha Tishtanti. There are so many Lokaha. Lokaha means Janmani. Then there are so many types of Janmas which can be attained by Jnana and Karma. Here Jnana does not mean Brahma Jnana, it is referring to Upasana. Jnana Karma Bhihi. Whenever you see this combination, Jnana Karma Samuchaya, etc., that is Upasana. Upasana. Then Upasana and also Karma. Upasana and Karma. Through that, there are so many lokas which are attained. So many happy states which are attained by a person. So what is that? What is that loka? Teshu tena omkara abhidhyanena. By that meditation on this omkara, katamam salokam jayati. Which one of them he is going to attain? So that is what is he asked. Iti pruštavate. Pruštavate is chaturthi. Iti pruštavate, for him who asked like this. To him who asked like this, iti pruštavate. Tasmai pruštavate tasmai, to him. Sahovacha Pippaladaha. That Pippalada told like this. Let us read the second mantra. Etadvai satyakama
एतद्वै सत्यकामः
param cha brahma yad omkaraha
परं चापरं च ब्रह्म ओङ्कारः
tasmad vidvan
तस्माद् विद्वान्
etenaivayatanena
एतेनैवायतनेन
ekataramanveti.
एकतरमन्वेति.
So, etadvai satyakama parancha aparancha brahma yad omkaraha. So, he is referring to etat. Etat is referring to Brahma. Etad, Shankaracharya is noting it. Etad is referring to Brahma. Because etad, yad. You see this first line. Etadvai satyakama parancha aparancha brahma yad omkaraha. Etad and yat both are in Napumsakalinga. It doesn't refer to Omkara, it is referring to Brahma which is in Napumsakalinga. So that is what is pointed out by Anandagiri also. Anandagiri says, Etad yachabdayoho napumsakayoho Omkara visheshanatva ayogat Brahma visheshanatva maha, he says. It can't be a visheshanam for Omkara, it is a visheshanam for Brahma. So Anandagiri helps us in construing the same meaning. So, etad yad Brahma. This Brahma which is there, what type of Brahma? So, paramcha aparamcha Brahma. Param is higher and aparam is lower. This, what is called this Brahma which is both higher and lower. We have to remember that Brahma is only one. Brahma is only one. He is appearing as two depending on the ability of the person who understands it. Ability of the person who seeks it. If he is a Uttamadhikari, he is through this Saguna Brahma, through this Apara Brahma, he goes to the Parabrahma. Or even without the help of the Saguna Brahma, he can go to the Parabrahma. If he is only a Mandadhikari or a Madhyamadhikari, he will remain at this Saguna level. He is so happy with the Saguna level. So that is the picture. Etadvai Satyakama, this is only one Brahma which is understood at two levels. So, etad yad paramcha brahma aparancha brahma. Both these things, hey Satyakama, oh my dear Satyakama, yadu, that is Omkaraha. This Omkara is both these things. That is, Omkara is a symbol, it is a pratika for both this Parabrahma and also for Aparabrahma. Tasma, therefore, Vidwan. Vidwan means not a realized person here. A seeker. Tasmad Vidwan. Etena ayatanena. By this ayatanam. Ayatanam actually means dwelling place. You know, Devayatanam say. So what is Devayatanam? Devalaya, where a figure of God is there, and then that is the place for a God, where the God stays, as we say. So Ayatanam, it is the abode. But here this word abode is used in a sense of sadhanam, alambanam, etenaiva alambanena. Because that Parabrahma and Aparabrahma, they stay here as though they stay here. It is like in that figurative sense, as though they stay here in this Omkara Alambana, Omkara Pratika. So with this as Alambanam, with this as support, Yetenaiva Ayatanena, Ekataram Anveti. Ekataram means one of the two. Katara, Katama. Ekataram, that is one of the two. What is that one of the two? Either Parabrahma or Aparabrahma. Either that Nirguna Brahma, that is Brahman without attributes, or Brahma with attributes. If you are worshipping Rama, Krishna, etc., it is okay. You will let it. Or if you are worshipping Hiranyagarbha also is Apara Brahma. Hiranyagarbha also, he may be the highest among all these, say, Saguna Brahmas, but Hiranyagarbha Brahma is also at the level of Avidya only. Hiranyagarbha Brahma is also Apara Brahma. Parabrahma is only this totally attributeless Brahma, what we call Nirguna Brahma, is that Apara Brahma. So, Yetenaiva Ayatanena, Ekataram Anveti. Anveti means attains. A person attains, this seeker attains either of the two. Then, see the Bhashyam. Etadvai Satyakama,
एतद्वै सत्यकामा
Etad Brahma,
एतद्
Brahma Vai,
एतद् ब्रह्म वै
Paramcha Aparamcha Brahma,
परं च अपरं च ब्रह्म
Param Satyam Aksharam Purushakhyam,
परं सत्यम् अक्षरं पुरुषाख्यम्
Aparamcha Pranakhyam Prathamajam,
अपरं च प्राणाख्यं प्रथमजम्
Yattad Omkara Eva,
यत्तद् ओङ्कार एव
Omkaratmakam
ओङ्कारात्मकम्
Omkara Pratikatvat.
ओङ्कार प्रतीकत्वात्
Because they can be designated by this symbol, by this pratika. Pratika is a symbol. Because they can be designated by this symbol called Omkara, it is both Parabrahma and also Aparabrahma. Then here, of course, regarding Omkara we can recapitulate, because Omkara is something which comes repeatedly, but in this Upanishad it is coming for the first time. So for those listening for the first time, we have to recapitulate something, though we have discussed this significance and the meaning of Omkara earlier, Kathopanishad and some other places, we have discussed the meaning of Omkara. You see, why is this Omkara a symbol for Brahma? Suppose you want to create a symbol or denote something by a symbol. If you go back to our science textbook in our school days, it says gravity shown as G, velocity shown as V, mass shown as M. So there is some connection between the thing to be told and the symbol. Gravity, it is starting with G, so you call it G, gravity. Then you call it mass, you call it M. So like that, there is some sort of relationship between the thing to be designated and the actual symbol, isn't it? So what is the connection between this Omkara and Parabrahma? You see, you are now saying that Omkara is something which is also denotes Parabrahma, and Parabrahma is something which is attributeless. If there is some attribute, if you can denote something by, if you can find some attribute, then you can use some word. But this is something which is totally attributeless. How can you denote this? That means Omkara. How can you denote? How can you say this Omkara is equated to Brahma? So that means you have to do some sort of homework as to what exactly is this Omkara, how this Omkara symbol has been derived. This is something which is surprising. The way in which our rishis have designed this word or arrived at this symbol called Omkara is something fantastic. That is, this Om is said to be having 3 letters, A, U, Ma. They are called matras. Matra means a measure. Trimatra means 3 measures. Measure is just a syllable. In English you can say a syllable. If you say A, it is 1 syllable. If you say A, 2 syllables. So like that. Matra, there are 4 syllables there. So like that. So this Omkara, it is having A, U, Ma. A plus U becomes O, isn't it? You see the a, u, you just, it is also guna sandhi. A plus u becomes o, that is guna sandhi also, Sanskrit sandhi also says guna sandhi. A plus u becomes o. Then the word ends with m, om. That is what is the general constitution of om. So this a, what does it signify? So this again, you have to do some sort of upasana, means attribution, isn't it? Adhyasa. Upasana is a sort of adhyasa. And then what is the adhyasa done on this akara? The first adhyasa done on this akara is, suppose you just open your mouth and release the sound. It will be just open your mouth and release the air through the vocal cords. It comes as a. That is the primary sound. Even a child, when it cries a. It does not cry o or e or u. It doesn't cry like that. It only cries. It doesn't cry like a ka, kha, ga, gha, etc. It will only cry a. So the most primary sound is a. In any language also, the first alphabet is that only. The first letter in the alphabet. It may be alif, it may be a, it may be alpha, whatever it is a only. Then that means all the words which are there, all the words which can be denoted, all the things which we see in the world are denoted by words. And all the words, they start with the thing a. You have to first of all open your mouth. And then you visualize all the Shabda Prapancha, the whole verbal Prapancha, the whole world of sounds. In that a and u, a, u, ma. When you say ma, the mouth closes. So before the lips close, then the whole the entire verbal world, the entire world of verbiage, let us say, all that thing is denoted by this a, u, ma. A is the beginning, a, u. So u refers to so many modifications which take place, in the mouth, and then ma is the end of that. So this whole Shabda Prapancha is denoted by this om. So that is one stage. And then you say, you take any rupam, you take any object, and any object is only some modification. Whatever we see is a modification of Prithvi, isn't it? Any object we see is modification of this Panchabhuta. Prithvi, Apas, Tejo, Vayu, Akasha. You take all these things; they are all modifications of this Panchabhuta only. And what are all these Panchabhutas? Panchabhuta again are a modification of that original Hiranyagarbha, and then the Hiranyagarbha is himself a manifestation in that Maya, isn't it? So all these things, they are all manifestations in that Maya. All this Rupa Prapancha, all these objects, the whole world of objects, it is again a manifestation in that Maya. So this Rupa Prapancha is something, Rupa or objects, they are also having some names, isn't it? So when all the names are denoted by the entire names, the whole world of names, they are all denoted by Om in the first step. And name and Rupa, Nama and Rupa are interrelated. Nama and Rupa are so totally related. So equate that Nama with this Rupa. Then you are equating this Omkara with that Maya. Omkara, you are equating with that Maya. So that we have gone to that level. It is an adhyasa. It is again an adhyasa. Then again another step also is there. That is all our experiences. All our experiences are there in three states. That is the waking state, dream state, and the deep sleep state. All the waking, this is like the waking state. Waking state. And where this waking state is not there, and only when the mind is active, that is called wu. And then ma, where it comes to a close, that is sushupti. And beyond sushupti also there is Shuddha Chaitanya, isn't it? Shuddha Chaitanya is there in all stages and beyond, isn't it? Shuddha Chaitanya is there. Because of this Shuddha Chaitanya, you are having this idea that I am knowing something, and then there is this Jnana Triputi. The Gnata, Gneyam and Jnanam, that Triputi is there in this stage. But in this Shuddha Chaitanyam, there is no Triputi. So Shuddha Chaitanyam is there illumining all these three stages. So Ma, it is also related to the whole human experience. So on one hand, you have the first step, we have taken the whole world of words. the whole world of forms. So names and forms and also all human experience is denoted by that. And what is all this? Sarvam Omkara Eva says, what is this Mandukya Upanishad? What is it? Bhutam Bhavat Bhavishyat. Bhutam Bhavat Bhavishyat. Sarvam Omkara Eva. Whatever was past, whatever is present, and whatever is Bhavishyat, whatever is going to be there, all this is Omkara Eva. Means what? That Sat, Chit and Ananda, they are there eternally. That Sat is something which is eternally there beyond the three columns, beyond the three Kala, beyond the past, present and future, isn't it? Trikala Badhyam as we call it. So that Sat only is manifesting, whether it is in past, present or future. The same experience or consciousness which is there in that Brahman only is getting experienced in so many forms. So Omkara can be designated to represent both all the past, present and future, all the times. So like that, you bring about an equation between this Omkara and Brahma. And then you can either focus your mind on that Nirguna Brahma, or you can focus your mind on some middle level, lower level, either Hiranyagarbha or much lower level, Vishnu, Shiva, etc., etc. You can do Upasana in any way. So that way, this Omkara has been derived in some manner by, we do not know which Rishi created this particular symbol. It is a wonderful creation because it is, we see that it is there in all other cultures also. Because these Rishis who created this Omkara has first come into existence, isn't it? And only then other religions like Christianity or Islam, whatever it is, all the things, they have come later. So they also say Amen, 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 Amin. So what is this Amin? It is again Ma only. This Omkara is only transformed into Amen and Amin. The meaning also is same. Om actually has got two meanings. In the performance of a yajna or any activity, suppose the person, say he recites a mantra. Then the Brahma, the person who is in overall supervision of all that, he says Om. Om means yes, well said, well done, it is accepted. And that is the meaning of Amin also. Amin and Amen. It is the same meaning. Oh, well done. It is a sign of approval. Amen is a sign of approval. So Omkara is a sign of approval. If you recall Gita, what is it? Sadbhave sadhubhave cha saditi uchate Om Tat Sat. Regarding those words we have seen in that 17th Adhyaya, Om Tat Sat, etc. Shraddhatraya Vibhaga Yoga, at the end of it, we have seen those words, Om Tat Sat. You see? Prasaste karmani tadavidna omit tasmad omityudahritya yajnadana tapakriyaha pravartante vidhanoktaha satatam brahmavadinam. Om Tatsaditi Nirdesho Brahmanas Trividha Smrataha. This is the 17th Adhyaya, 23rd and 24th Shloka. So this Omkara is used to say add value to whatever you are doing in a yajna. Suppose there is some sort of infirmity, some sort of weakness, some sort of lapse in a yajna. So all those lapses are covered by uttering this Om, Tat, Sat, etc. They are supposed to be adding some value to whatever you are doing. So like that. So this Omkara is a symbol which has been derived in a very thoughtful manner. Very thoughtful in a rather scientific manner. It is a scientific adhyasa. So that is the background of Omkara. So Etadvai Satyakama, where are we? So we were reading this first line only. Etadvai, he Satyakama, this indeed, Etad Brahma vai, Param cha Brahma. Then Param, what is Param? Satyam, Aksharam, Purushakyam. Satyam, we have to go back to the definition as we saw in Taittiriya Upanishad. Satyam is something which is Trikala Badhyam, which is there beyond past, present and future. The time itself is a manifestation in that. So that type of Satyam. Aksharam, that imperishable. Purusha, Purnatvat Purusha, that which fills everything, that which completes, that which encompasses everything. That is what is Purusha, Purushakyam. Then Aparam, what is Aparam? That is lower Brahma. Apara Brahma, Aparancha, Hiranya, Pranakyam Prathamajam. Prana, it is called, otherwise called Hiranyagarbha. Prana, Hiranyagarbha, Sutratma are all one. So Hiranyagarbha, that is the first Prathamaja, the first appearance in that Maya, the cosmic mind, That is the thing. The first cosmic mind is that Hiranyagarbha. Then Prathamajam Yat Tat. This, whatever it is, whatever Brahma you say, that is Omkara Eva. That is Omkara. Omkaratmakam. It can be denoted by Omkara. It is of the nature of Omkara. And then Omkara Pratikatvat, because it can be denoted by the Pratika or symbol called Omkara. Then Param hi Brahma
परम ही ब्रह्म
शब्दाद्युपलक्षणानर्हम
शब्दाद्युपलक्षणार्थम
सर्वधर्म विशेषवर्जितम
सर्वधर्म विशेषवर्जितम
अतो न शक्यम अतीन्द्रिय गोचरत्वात् केवलेन मनसा अवगाहितुम
अतो न शक्यम अतीन्द्रिय गोचरत्वात् केवलेन मनसा
अवगाहितुम. You can put a full stop there. Okay. Then Param hi Brahma, this Param, because this Param Brahma, what is the nature of Param Brahma? Shabdadi Upalakshana Anarham. So it cannot be denoted by things like Shabda. It can't be denoted by any sound. It cannot be denoted by any words beyond words. Yato vacho nivartante. So these words, they bounce back. Shabdadi Upalakshana Anarham. It cannot be indicated by, Upalakshana is indicating. It cannot be indicated by Shabda. Then Sarva Dharma Vishesha Varjitam. Any other property, any other thing apart from Brahman is something which is seen as having some Vishesha, some sort of attributes. It can be Jati, Guna, Kriya, etc. So many attributes are there. But for this Brahman, there is no Jati, Guna, Kriya, etc. Then Sarva Dharma Vishesha Varjitam. It is devoid of any type of attributes. Then Ataha, therefore, Na Shakyam Atindriya Gocharatvat. That is, it is beyond Indriya Gochara. Because unless, if there is some Vishesha, if there is some attribute, then it can be seen by Indriyas. If there is no Vishesha, it cannot be seen by Indriyas. So that is why it is Atindriya Gocharam. Atindriya Gocharatvat. Kevalena Manasa Avagahitum Na Shakyam. So Na Shakyam is connected to Kevalena Manasa Avagahitum. It has to connect it to that. Kevalena Manasa Avagahitum Na Shakyam. Avagahitum means in order to understand. Avagahana is understanding. Avagahitum is in order to understand. It is Ashakyam. It is not possible to understand that Brahman which is devoid of all attributes. Then Omkaretu Vishnuadi Pratimasthaniye Bhaktiyaveshita Brahma Bhave Dhyayinam tat prasidati ityavagamyate Shastra Pramanyat. You can put one more full stop here. Shastra Pramanyat. Okay. Omkaretu. That Param hi Brahma, because that Omkara, really Parabrahma cannot be captured by mind. But here, Omkaretu. On the other hand, in Omkara, what happens? Vishnuadi Pratimasthaniye. This Omkara is somewhat similar to this Vaishnuadi Pratima. Omkara is comparable to Vishnuadi Pratima. That is some idol which is there for Vishnu, some idol which is there for Shiva, etc. It can be compared to that. And then in that Omkara, Bhaktiyaveshita Brahma Bhave. This Bhaktiyaveshita Brahma Bhave is again the word repeated. Bhaktiyaveshita Brahma Bhave. This Brahma Bhava is Bhaktya Aveshitaha. This notion of, this idea of Brahma is brought in by Bhakti. This Bhaktya Aveshita. Aveshita is brought in. You can note down. Bhaktya Aveshita. Aveshita. Bhaktya Aveshita Brahma Bhave Omkare. So this by devotion, this Brahma Bhava has been brought in with great devotion. This superimposition or adhyasa has been done. Bhaktiyaveshita Brahma Bhave. In that, Dhyayinam tat prasidati. Dhyayinam means for those who meditate. Dhyayi, Adhyayi, Yajushaka, Dhyayi, we say. So that is it. Dhyayi. Dhyayinam is Shashti Bahuvachanam. So Dhyayinam, for those who meditate on that, tat prasidati. Iti avagamyate. It is known like this. Tat prasidati. Prasidati means it shows its favor, it blesses, it reveals itself. It blesses means it is not a question of blessing, reveals itself. This Parabrahma reveals itself to a person who is doing this say meditation on this Brahma with all that Bhaktyaveshita Brahma Bhava. With that Bhaktyaveshita Brahma Bhava for a person who is doing meditation, so that Brahma reveals itself. So that is the point. Iti avagamyate. How? Shastra pramanyat. Because Shastram is saying. Of course, there are so many Shrutis which say, here of course Anandagiri also quotes the Shastra Pramanam, like Vachati, Omkara, Tadatmyam, Tat Katham. Okay, there are so many Shrutis which say that it reveals itself. Kathopanishad, for example, say, Etadhyevaksharam Brahma, Etadhyevaksharam Param, etc., etc. Then, Shastra Pramanyat. Tatha Aparam cha Brahma. Likewise, in the same manner, Apara Brahma also can be attained like that. Para Brahma can be attained if you want, otherwise Apara Brahma also can be attained in that manner. Tasmat, Parancha Aparamcha Brahma, Yad Omkaraha Ityupacharyate. So therefore, it is eulogistically said, Iti Upacharyate. It is eulogistically or laudatory, in a laudatory way. In a manner of speaking, it is said that Omkara itself is Brahma. Omkara itself is not Brahma. Omkara is only a symbol for Brahma. So it is only eulogistically, in order to praise in a laudatory manner, it has been said that it is Brahma. Parancha, Paramcha Brahma, Omkaraha. Perfect equation. Perfect equation is not there, but still it is said. It is told in the mantra itself. The very Satyagama Parancha, Parabrahma, Yad Omkaraha. That is in a sort of eulogistic manner. Tasmad evam vidvan yetenaiva atma prapti sadhanenaiva omkara abhidhyanena ekataram param aparam va anveti brahma anugacchati nedishtam hi alambanam omkaro brahmanaha. Brahmanaha. Okay. Tasmat. Therefore, evam vidwan, a person who does upasana in this manner. Evam vidwan is a person who does meditation in this manner. Yetena iva atma prapti sadhanena. By this means, for realization of Atma. By this means, for realization of Brahman. Atma prapti sadhanam. Atma prapti is realization of Brahman. Atma prapti sadhanam, a means for realization of Brahman. By this means, for realization of Brahman. Omkara abhidhyanena. By this meditation on this. Abhidhyanam. Abhidhyanam, we have seen the definition of abhidhyanam. By that, ekataram, that one of the two. Param, aparam va. Whether it is higher or lower, the anveti. Anveti means anugacchati. He attains. Anu eti. Gatau, isn't it? Gam dhatu. Gacchati. Anugacchati means he attains actually. Then this is nedishtam hi alambanam. Nedishtam means closest, nearest. Nedishtam. Nedishtam. Of course, in the footnote there is a Panini Sutra also is given here. Antika badhayoho neda sadhau. So neda sadhu, neda sadha, sadha. These are in the sense of antika, very close, proximate. Nedishtam hi alambanam. This alambanam, this particular pratika, Omkaraha, Brahmanaha nedishtam alambanam. This is the closest alambanam, the closest symbol for Brahma. Because you can't think of a much closer symbol. It has been derived in such a systematic way. Then you still have time? 1 minute. 1 minute and means you can stop here. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.